Hi pupils and welcome to the channel Planet Spelling That. In today's lesson we are going to learn regular and irregular verbs in past. If you want to know how to conjugate them, please stay.
Welcome to Language Adventure with Tanya. Imagine exploring the world through its languages. Picture yourself strolling past the Eiffel Tower, diving into the rich history of Germany, or savoring the vibrant culture of Spain. Each language opens a door to new experiences, friendships, and understanding. Whether you're mastering English, dancing to Korean rhythms, or savoring French cuisine, every word you learn is a step on this exciting journey. Let's embark on this adventure together and unlock the beauty of communication across the globe.
So you must be wondering, why is it important to know the verbs in past? And the answer is simple. Knowing verbs in past tense is essential for effective communication in English or any language because they express past actions. Verbs in past allow you to describe events, experiences, or actions that happened at a specific time in the past, right? For example, I visited my grandmother yesterday. If you see here, I am expressing something that I did yesterday in past. Then we have telling stories or narratives. Whether sharing a personal story or narrating a fictional one, past tense verbs are crucial for creating a clear sequence of events. For example, she woke up early, made breakfast, and went to work. Then we have here understanding conversations. People often refer to past events. Recognizing past tense verbs helps you follow conversations and respond appropriately. For example, did you watch the movie? Then we have building grammatical accuracy. Correctly using past tense verbs improves your overall grammar and fluency. This is especially true for irregular verbs which don't follow standard rules. For example, he wrote a book last year instead of he write a book last year. Then we have professional and academic use. In writing reports, resumes, or academic essays, past tense verbs are needed to describe previous achievements or historical facts. Then we have cultural understanding. Literature, movies, and historical texts frequently use the past tense. Knowing it helps you appreciate and understand cultural content better. So now let's see how to conjugate regular or regular verbs. In the case of regular verbs, if you see here, we have the base form of the verb. What is the base form of the verb? In this case, we have play. In past simple, you will just add ed at the end, and that will mean that the verb is in the past. For example, in past simple, the verb play is played. And be careful with the pronunciation. And then we have the meaning that is to play, like the infinity of the verb, right? To play. But remember to add ed at the end of the verb, and people will understand that you are talking about things that you did in the past, right? Then we have the verb talk. In past simple is talked. Don't forget to add ed at the end of the verb, and the meaning is to talk. Then we have watch, watched. You just add ed at the end, and the meaning to watch, right? Then we have cook, cooked, to cook, clean, cleaned, to clean, walk, walked, or to walk, right? So pay attention to the details, guys. Remember to transform regular verbs in the past. You will just add ed at the end of the verb. It was easy, right? Just to add ed at the end of the verb, but in the case of irregular verbs, please pay special attention because here you should memorize each verb to know its form in past because you can conjugate, for example, the verb go, you can say good, right? That doesn't exist. So keep in mind and memorize that the past simple of the verb go is went. Then we have the meaning to go, right? The infinity of the verb is to go. Then we have the verb be. Pay attention here because in some sentences we will add this be verb in past simple as auxiliary verb. For example, here, was is for singular subjects and were for plural subjects. For example, was, right? You can say I was worked yesterday. They were played or things like that, right? But we will see more topics using this auxiliary verb ahead. But keep in mind that the verb be, its past form is was or were. It depends on the subject. And the infinity of the past of the verb is to be. Then we have the verb have, and the past is had, and the infinitive to have. Then we have do, did, you see? If you are a very observant student, you will identify that did is also used to make questions in past. For example, you can ask, what did you do yesterday, right? But I had a video about the simple past, and if you didn't watch it, don't worry. I will let it at the end of this verb, and you will see it to understand a little bit better of what I'm talking about. Then we have the meaning of this verb is to do, right? Then we have the base form of the verb that is see, and the past simple is so. Then we have the infinitive form of the verb to see, right? Then we have the verb eat, in past is ate, and the base form of the verb is to eat, right? The infinitive. But pay attention in past with these conjugations, and these are just some examples for you to understand a little bit better the difference between the conjugation from irregular verbs. And I hope that you understand a little bit better now. But this doesn't mean that these are the only regular or irregular verbs that exist, because there are many and you should memorize them. But don't worry, um, it will be easy for you once you memorize them. And in this way, I hope that you know better how to identify and conjugate verbs in past. And I hope that you enjoyed it and that you learned this part of how to identify regular from irregular verbs. But now let's see some examples. You see, I like always to give like extras on my videos. If you see here, we have examples with regular verbs, only regulars. Pay attention in this part. For example, played is a regular verb, right? And I have a sentence. I played, you see, ed at the end of the verb, soccer with my friends yesterday. Talk. She talked to her teacher after class. You see, regular because at the end of the verb has ed. Then we have watch. We watched a movie last night. Cook. He cooked dinner for the whole family. Then we have the verb clean. They cleaned the house before the guests arrived. Then we have the verb walk. I walked to the park this morning. And then we have a start. The meeting started at 9 a.m. If you see here, these examples are with regular verbs. Why? Because all verbs ends with ed at the end of the verb. But now, let's see some examples with irregular verbs for you to understand a little bit better. For example, the verb go, we went to the beach last weekend. You see the difference? Go, went. Why? Because it's an irregular verb. I can add ed at the end of the verb. I have to just memorize the list of irregular verbs. Then we have the verb be. If you see here, the subject is she. What does it mean? That I'm talking about one person. In this case, it will be one woman or one girl. It doesn't matter. But it's in singular. So I use was. She was very tired after the trip. But if, for example, here, I have like the subject we, I could say we were very tired after the trip. You see the difference? So pay attention in these little details because they make the difference. Then we have the verb to have. They had a great time at the party. The verb do. I did my homework before dinner. If you see here, we can use also did, depending on the context, of course. I am not making here any question. It's just an affirmative sentence. I'm saying, I did my homework before dinner. This means that it's not a question, and I can use also did as a verb, not just to make a question, right? So be careful and pay attention to those little details because they make the differences. Then we have the verb see. He saw a beautiful sunset by the lake. Then we have eat. She ate a delicious slice of pizza for lunch. Delicious, right? Then we have the verb drink. We drank coffee at the new cafe. And you must be wondering, but how is that possible that you drink coffee and at the end it says cafe? And here I have a bonus tip for you guys. For example, when you say like the beverage, right? The coffee in the cup is the coffee. But if you see here at the new cafe, I'm talking about the place where is served the coffee. That wasn't changed even in English. The cafe is like a fact, right? But the beverage is coffee. Pay attention also to those details. Now let's see more examples. I created this character for you to understand and see that also we can tell a story using regular and irregular verbs, maybe in the same history, not in the same sentence, but in the same history. So we will read some examples talking about this guy. The boy saw a rainbow after the rain stopped. Then we have he talked to his teacher about the homework. The boy learned a new trick on his skateboard. He wrote a letter to his grandmother thanking her for the gift. He walked to the park to feed the dogs. You see? It's easy to add regular and irregular verbs in the same history. I hope that now you understand a little bit better and that you can differentiate regular from irregular verbs. I know. And you'll be like, oh my god, I felt dizzy after all this information. But I'm sorry to say this, guys. We will make an activity time. But don't worry, I'll be right next to you. So now, guys, the activity is to complete each sentence. For example, um, after saw my video, I think that you can identify one regular from one irregular verb, right? Let's see. Write it down below in the comments. What do you think? For example, the verb play is regular or irregular, and how we transform this verb in past? I don't know. Write it down below in the comments. I'll be reading those comments, guys, to see if you understood. Then we have the verb go. This is regular or is irregular? I don't know. I'll be reading those comments. Then we have the verb cook, the verb write, and the verb watched. What do you think, guys? Which of them is regular or irregular, and how to transform a regular verb in the past, and how can I know what's, for example, the past of the verb go? I don't know. I will read in those comments. And if you thought that I will leave you alone in this process, no, guys. I'm here to guide you through this English journey. So don't worry, I'm here to help you. For example, we have here the verb played. If I added ed, this is, yeah, regular, exactly. Then we have the verb go. This is an irregular verb, so the past is went, and it's irregular, yes. Then we have the verb cook, cooked, ends with ed, so it means that this is, yes, a regular verb. Then we have the verb ride, and is wrote, the past, so it's irregular, yes. And then we have the verb watched. In past, we added ed, so it's regular, right? Watched. So thank you, guys. Well done. I hope that you understood a little bit better how to transform the verbs in past, even if they are regular or irregulars. And don't forget to give a like. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you want to continue learning new things daily. And thank you to watch my videos. See you soon.